In tonight's Tracking the Case, we're talking about a homicide that has never been reported until tonight. For the first time, investigators are telling Fox Carolina about a woman's homicide that happened inside a Taylor's home more than 12 years ago. Investigators say someone shot Karen Jones in the head in her own kitchen. Her son Marcus, you just saw him, says he is the one who found his mom. He's talking about those moments for the very first time, alongside his sister, who you saw sitting right next to him. They're telling us about their mom as a person and why her case has remained silent all these years.
Now, Fox Carolina's Shale Remien has been digging into their story. Shale, Marcus and Amanda, they sat down with you. What did they say about their mother?
Well, Tori, her son Marcus tells me when his mom was killed, he was really in that in-between spot of still being a kid, but wanting to be a full adult. His birthday is Cinco de Mayo, and one of the things he wanted to most was have a margarita with his mom for his 21st. But he never got to cheers with her. She wouldn't see him grow up to become a pastor or get to look at her own granddaughter. Someone killed Karen on March 12th, and we still don't know who today.
This is my junior year of Furman.
Greenville County 911.
Hi, my name is Marcus Jones.
You know, I'm able to talk about this today, but that's from a decade of intense counseling.
You don't have to go back in there.
March 12, 2009 is a day forever marked by terror for Marcus Jones and Amanda Phillips.
And it was silence, and I was like, hello? And he goes, Mom's dead. His voice was just, I'll never forget it.
This brother and sister have never spoken about their mother, Karen Jones's murder, until now, 12 years later.
So it was just an average Thursday morning that began for Miss Jones.
So my mom came up and met me and my dad for lunch that day at Furman. Dad was an electrician on the campus.
And here at this McDonald's on Old Buncombe Road is reportedly the last time that her family saw her alive.
Marcus tells me he went back to his dorm on Furman's campus while Karen went to run some errands before heading back home.
So I tried to call her on her cell phone and didn't get an answer. I'm like, okay. So I called house phone, didn't get an answer. I called a lot. I'm talking like 13, 14 times, didn't get an answer.
Marcus and Amanda were used to being the heroes, the ones who helped their mom with her medical challenges, at least 4 hospitalizations.
You know, that's the person I went to countless doctor visits trying to save.
I mean, just to fight so hard for someone.
And all at one time, boom, doesn't matter anymore.
When Marcus saw his mom's car sitting in the driveway, his mind went to medical emergency, never murder.
Something's immediately off because mom and dad had a routine, and mom and dad did not leave that house unless CMT was on, the radio was on, and there was a lamp beside the bird that they kept on. My mom called Mr. Sunshine.
Instead, the silence was deafening as he made his way in. No TV, no lights, no ceiling fans on.
As soon as I walked past the couch, I saw her feet. I screamed mama at the top of my lungs, like in a way that haunts me still to this day.
I called you guys as soon as I found her.
Investigators say Karen was shot in the head with her own gun.
She still has the bags in her hand.
A ballistics report we got a hold of shows whoever shot Karen did it at least 2 feet away.
And you walk in your kitchen where you literally stood with her for years and you sang and you were goofy and you danced with the cat, and there's just a puddle of blood and no answers.
The smell of blood and the sound of silence still rings in their ears today. When Karen was alive, she filled every room with life and laughter.
She could have been a star on Whose Line Is It Anyway. No kidding.
You know, she was the one that would host the pool parties and all the kids knew where we lived, and you know, the animal lover and the singer.
The day became even darker when Marcus says deputies were forced to question him and his family.
Because you're at the same time you're a victim, that she's a victim, and then you're also being looked at like you could have had something to do with it, and then they say, well, your brother found her, could he have done it?
For me, it was never anger. It was always pain. You know how like when you're growing up and somebody blames you for doing something that you didn't do? Even though you know you've done nothing wrong, there's still that just fear. Now I don't know if I have to be looking over my shoulder. Are they coming after me or my sister or my dad now?
I asked if they could say something to the person behind their mother's murder,
what would they say?
By the off chance that they see this, I forgive you. And I mean it. I truly do.
I hear sirens. I don't know if that's for me or not.
It most likely is, Marcus.
And tonight, cold case investigators are looking into this case with fresh eyes, saying whoever killed Karen was someone she actually knew. Marcus says while it opens up a box of emotions, going through cheek swabs and more, he tells me he wants investigators to know he's grateful for their work and he hopes it leads to answers. He maintains mental health awareness as a pastor still today and wants anyone who's dealing with a traumatic experience to know that they are not alone. Cody and Tori, back to you.